Hello, this is me, Jubs again, and welcome back to Umineko EP.7 commentary. Last time we left off, we left off at part 12. This will be part 13. Let's open the doors and see where we last left off. Yeah, the heart. If I remember correctly, Shannon was supposedly talking to whom I suspect is Battler. It can't possibly be George at this point. They're talking about mystery novels and everything. Shannon tells Beatrice that she supposedly felt love and everything or whatever. So basically they're talking about the aspects of a mystery novel and everything. Searching for the heart. That's why I can't enjoy novels where the culprit is just a homicidal maniac who kills for fun. Oh yeah, so Battler is the one saying that his favorite ones are the ones that let you reason it out. When you think about it, Will was the one talking about the heart of the mystery too. So that's why I also think that he and Battler might be the same person. You know, Will and Battler, When you think about it, the red strand of hair that Will has, it looks similar to Battler. Mystery of the heart. Basically, they say the heart of the mystery is the why done it. And well, when you think about it, you know what? That does make a mystery novel much more interesting when you're actually presented clues that leads to the why done it too. Simply figuring out the who done it and the how done it. Well, let's put it this way: the how done it is the easiest to figure out if you look at if you observe the crime scene carefully. The who done it is usually done from the how done it. When you think about it, yeah, when you think about the how done it, it's all about the evidence. When the evidence is presented, then you reason out who the person could have been, judging by the alibis too. Some alibis don't always match up either. And then there's the why done it. The why done it can actually be reasoned out by depending on who is being killed. But it all depends on the victims. If they're all just random victims, then you can't really find the heart. But maybe you'd be able to find the heart of the mystery or the why done it if all the victims all have something in common. That's the part that's usually hardest to figure out actually. You know, when you try to figure out why the killer killed these people. When you think about it like that, then it's only natural you'd probably have a little hard time figuring out the why done it. But it should be slightly easier if you observe the victims. If someday you decide to quit, come over to my place. What? He said it almost carelessly. Maybe he was a bit embarrassed, since he laughed weakly and blushed. And then, we won't need to continue about time running out anymore. That's right. We could be together as long as we wanted. The little secret dates on this island only happen a few times a year. Even when they did happen, it was only for a short, uncertain period of time. It wouldn't work over the phone or with letters. We could only talk about our mystery when we're standing like this. I know that day will come someday. You think it will? Yes. I'm certain of it. Certain? Why is he certain? When that day comes, I'll come for you riding a white horse. Now you know for sure that she's talking to Battler. Wanna know why? There's a little small scene back in episode 3 when it had first began. When with George, Battler, Jessica, and Maria were talking with Shannon on the beach. She had teased the Battler about how he talked about coming for her on a white horse. Yeah. So basically, I don't know what happened though. Her heart skipped a beat. It was sweet, yeah. Shannon fell in love with Battler first. I forgot how she fell in love with George. Puzzle solvers of love. I'm not going to quit my job right now. Yes, 1 year. I'll do it in 1 year. She just proposed to Battler. And then Battler apparently never came back since he didn't return to Vokojima for 6 years. She was prepared to quit 1 year later, yet it took him 6 years later to come back. That must have really hurt Shannon. Oh boy. Yeah, the glass broke. I see. So this emotion feels like sweet suffocation is love. Beatrice doesn't know love. You know what? I think I know what allowed her to fall in love with George. It's pretty easy to figure out from here on out. Let's stick with the theory that, let's stick with the pretty much confirmed thing that Shannon is pretty much DID or MPD or whatever, having all these multiple personalities. Beatrice is one of these personalities. Let's say that, well, during that time when Battler never came back, she couldn't wait any longer. So she probably gave her ability to love Battler to Beatrice. So that explains why we have Beatrice loving Battler. You know, in the meta world, that is. How do you think they wound up falling in love with each other? Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. It's not very hard to reason out at all. Wonder what's going on now. Oh, well, haven't seen him in a while. This form is... I'm lending it to you. After all, I hate idiots. Call yourself Claire as a temporary name. Or would you prefer Beto? You have my gratitude. This way I won't have to expose my pitiful form. Burkestar had given Claire a fake form. It was a temporary form for the person acting the part of Beatrice. A fake that fooled those who still hadn't discovered Beatrice's true form. Then this tale about me in another world? Leon, there's a tale of you in another world and also my tale. The tale of the world where I live as a witch, not a human. Am I capable of imagining what if scenarios of my life? However, the tale you tell is beyond anything I can imagine. That another you has led. You know what? I think it's pretty easy to reason out that Yasu is that Yasu might be a female, but Leon might be male. We are talking about different different realities, right? Wouldn't the probability of wouldn't the gender of the person in question change, with realities and such? When you think about it, it kind of makes sense. In a different light, I ended up as a servant. If that wasn't enough, I suddenly become a witch. And then I eventually carry out several terrifying murders. How am I supposed to figure that out? Yeah, I see where you're coming from. I doubt anyone could understand. Another crime I don't understand. Yeah, well, nobody really knows the true gender, but the fact that it was written in several different games, you can pretty much reason out that different Kakeras and everything, different worlds. Leon, Yasu, or whoever the hell he's supposed to be, well, he or she's supposed to be, can be a different gender, or even a hermaphrodite in whatever world in whatever the world they just appear in. In this world, well, Yasu is, Leon, and supposedly, I would like to say Leon is probably a male. Okay, so I've been reasoning that Leon was a female, but after coming up with this theory, I feel a lot more comfortable with everything. Leon is male, this Claire is female, Shannon is female, and everyone else. They're all just different realities. Alternate dimensions, parallel universes. And when you have parallel universes, you pretty much have any kind of scenario. Some things don't always remain consistent with parallel worlds. If Battler had returned a year earlier or later, that incident might not have occurred. In 1980, when Asumu, his mother, died, his father remarried too soon for his liking. Butler left the Usunomiya family, and for whole years he had no direct contact with his family. He convinced his grandparents on his mother's side to help him and had his last name changed to his mother's maiden name. And then those grandparents passed away. He finally made up with Rudolph and returned to the Usunomiya family again in 1986. That bad luck gave birth to your motive for the crime. Why after 6 whole years did he finally come back? The crime didn't occur because Battler left. It happened because Battler came back. Usunomiya Battler was quite a disagreeable man. Because he never realized that the outbreak of the crime was his fault. If Shannon is supposedly the same person, right here, she's the one who committed the crime. No. I know servants can't be the culprit and everything, but maybe Shannon's a special case. Maybe at the time she wasn't exactly herself. She wasn't her servant self. Instead, she became Beatrice. Instead of committing the murder based on the epitaph. Yeah, it makes a lot more sense now that I think about it. She probably must have faked her death. Battler has left the Usunomiya family? That's the cross of root of insane. What a shock. Ooh, I see Mammon. Disinheriting a son is one thing, but I never heard of a child becoming fed up and leaving a family of his own. That Battler could get annoyingly stubborn, sort of like someone else we know. If you are unable to understand Battler's feelings, that will make you a failure as a father. Enough, Nasahi. I'm sure Rudolph was just trying to show how dedicated he was to raising Kiryu-san's child in his own way. Curious child? Oh, that's right. Battler thought that Asumu was his mother. But then, after that, I started thinking a possible baby switch might have occurred. I theorized that back in episode 4 when it first occurred, and then it pretty much started. I mean, my theory had some ground to. Well, my theory pretty much had some weight to hold. I mean, started to hold water. Okay, sorry, I was trying to find a way to phrase that, but yeah, my theory started to hold water after episode 6, when Kiryu pretty much didn't know. I mean, she said that her baby had died and everything, and she and Asumu gave birth at the same time. One baby died and another survived. That was she said her baby had died and everything, but there was a possible baby switch. Asumu's baby probably died, and she switched it off. What the hell? You old bastard! So that means you could be between mom from the son. Sure, I know Kiryu-san. You told me that she was your business partner and a friend who should basically always rely on. You're trying to say after all this time that she was more than that, then why would I give a damn? Battler is pissed. This kid is completely gutless. He or she'll need two parents to look after him or her. Go ahead and build a new family and give that kid a happy life. But I'll never forgive you. Mom isn't here to hate you anymore, so I'll hate you in her place with all of my body and soul. So long, old bastard. Wow. Rudolph actually looks ashamed. That's a first. It may take some time, but he wants to fix their relationship one day. As any father should. This is your own flesh and blood son. This is clearly your responsibility. Go ahead, despise me all you want. I won't argue. That's the only way I can atone. The new kid and Battler, they're both my kids. Stop now, Sahi. Krus and Nasuhi are actually trying to console Rudolph. He's actually pretty depressed that Battler pretty much told him off like that. I felt the anger in in those words. Did I kill Asumu? So then how long has it been since I started killing her? Yeah. Rudolph actually started to cry there. A reserved seating in hell? The news that Battler left the Ushimomiya family swept across the family. And poor Battler too. I do believe they'll make up eventually, but this is a matter for the family. We servants have nothing to do with it. Kyrie. That's actually pretty sad. That means Battler isn't coming, right? That seems the most probable outcome. How lonely is the loss of a single noisy man? Though most people felt a bit lonely to see that Battler leave the Ushimomiya family, they didn't think any more about it than that. However, what about Shannon? Wasn't Battler supposed to come for her on a white horse? Wow. He completely forgot about Shannon. You know, this is... I have to touch my cheek out to find it hard and wet. Ah, she was crying. Shannon. It's okay. It's just a fight between a boy and his father. I'm sure the rooms will blow everything out of proportion. Where is this place? Ah, Shannon. I'd actually dare somebody to animate this, but not Dean though. Though I'm pretty sure they'll probably be the ones to animate this shit, and they'll probably screw it over. Yeah, it took 6 years for him to cool it over. When men argue, it's always fiery at first, but they burn out quickly. In contrast, an argument between women burns like a steady flame, but the fuel never goes dry. Men's arguments are fierce but short, quick and easy. Must have merely upset him. You know, I could actually understand why Battler went off the way he did. I mean, the woman you believe is your mother, she dies, and your father just all of a sudden remarries, like, what, maybe 1 or 2 days after? After her death? How would you feel? How would you feel would you react the way Battler did? Go off on your father for remarrying so quickly? Or would you actually just accept it? No. The child they'll bring next time will be Angie. You notice that she's not even thinking of herself as furniture, right? So, what is this whole furniture thing anyway? Where did this whole furniture concept come from? I noticed I noticed I'm just now saying this, but I noticed that all this time Shannon talked, she hasn't called herself furniture, not once. So, where did the furniture thing come from? I noticed Cannon always called himself furniture, but it's just weird. That. A new life with Battler. Hmm. Yeah, it's pretty sweet now that I think about it. I never thought. I mean, I never pictured Shannon being in love with Battler all along instead of George. But yeah, this whole multiple personality thing and my theory earlier about Shannon giving her love for Battler over to Beatrice. Yeah, that probably allowed her to fall in love with George instead when George approached her. So basically, all the Rokujima murders started because Battler came back and pretty much made Shannon's heart skip a beat. Again, what the hell? Am I to believe that the the murders were caused by a fucking Yanderer? You know what? I'm thinking of school days all of a sudden. Except Shannon decides to take on the personality of Kotonoha Kasura. And by that time, she gets the hacksaw, she starts killing everybody. Yeah. That's not gonna end well. You have no trust in Battler's promise. That's why this is a trial. To pass through this trial, you'll have to show you can trust him and wait. A trial. But he didn't come. Butler wasn't even thinking about Shannon at the time he went off on Rudolph. You know, this is actually pretty tragic. But you know what? I just forgot to mention this is all. I mean, this entire thing is pretty much confirming the pony theory. You remember the pony theory, right, guys? Where people theorized that Shannon had fell in love with Battler in the first. At first. And well, it pretty much turned out to be true. And the pony theory started all the way back in episode 3. Shifted my resolve. I remember in the anime that Shannon was voiced by Rie Kugamiya of all people, the Sundara Queen. You know, when you think about it, it fits. Shannon being voiced by Rie Kugamiya was such a huge hint. I don't know why I didn't see it. Cause Beato, she's a Sundara within itself. She is a Sundara, and yet she's voiced by Sayaka Ohara. But if Shannon and Beatrice are the same person, then it makes so much sense. What the hell? Oh, he won't. He probably forgot all about Shannon. 1 year later, 1981, 5 years until the crime. Pleased to meet you. My name is Kyria. I hope we can all become quick friends. I've known your name longer than Nasimu's. I hear you're Rudolph's old girlfriend. Yes, we've known each other for quite a long time. Welcome to the Usumia family. Hope you find it easy to grow comfortable here. Oh, Kyria, the smartest person of the entire cast. She's smarter than your average person. Angie. So you two couldn't make up after all. He's as stubborn as Dad. One and only big brother. He's been adding fuel to the fire. It's a bit boring without Battler. Yeah, I hope he and Rudolph can make up soon. At least the cousins understand. All men need to go out in the world to see. Go out in the world one day or another. I do. It's not cool for a guy to hang around his parents for too long. Got to leave the nest in a flurry and make a name in the world. At the time, I don't think anybody knew that Shannon was in love with Battler. Battler didn't come, did he? Oh, how terrible! And I kept telling Shannon that he should have come. Well, thanks for your concern. It'd be a lot to say I wasn't sad, but I'll be okay. Men are so stubborn. Yes, that's true. Now, someone explain to me why Battler doesn't even remember 6 years ago into the past. Did he get amnesia or something? It's like when Battler came back to the island, he didn't even, he acted like he didn't, well, I don't know. Maybe his feelings for Shannon went away or something? Oh boy. Oi, Hime. Ha! Bleach. I think Shannon felt more strongly about Battler than George. When you think about it, you're probably gonna start feeling bad for George. For 6 years, still a long way to go until then. Will. Chapter 7. Spout of Love. Root of Love. 2 more chapters to go. I also end the commentary here before reading on. I mean, why not? So, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and end the commentary here. I've been making commentaries way too long lately. So I'll see you in part 14. Thanks for watching and listening.